So where do we start? I think we start by choosing a boat. You already know what you're dreaming of, so now we've got to go make a choice. We don't start with buying a boat. Buying a boat is just the execution of our choice. We start with choosing a boat. The reason why we start there is because that boat is going to embody the hopes and dreams that you've thought about, that you're hoping to achieve.
Well, to begin with, a person has to decide, I think, in the first, get-go, whether you want to be a sailor or whether you want to be a powerboater.
How much do you have to spend? How much do you want to commit to this project? Because that I think is the easiest way to help me target a range of boats.
How big is the boat going to be? How wide is the boat going to be? Where is it going to be kept? Is it going to be in a marina? Is it going to be living off the hook? Are you going to be a world traveler? Whatever, all those things have to be decided, of course.
Somebody might come to me and say, I've got $20,000, I need to find a boat, or I'm looking for a boat. What will that buy me? Somebody else might not make that an issue. So start with price, see what's available, get a sense for how many people are involved, what expectations this particular buyer would have in terms of how comfortable they think they're going to be, wish to be, or minimally can live with. We would go on to typically one of the websites like yachtworld.com, plug in a few parameters, come up with a list of boats. We can easily screen out most of them probably because for one reason or another they don't work.
Choosing a boat as a liveaboard is different than choosing a boat for your recreation. The primary concern, I think, is storage. You want to make sure that there is enough living space for you to enjoy yourself and not be handicapped by the boat. I mean, the boats give you a lot of freedom in that you can sail away or motor away and you bring your home with you, which is terrific. But if there's not enough room, enough storage space on there, it can be very difficult.
The main thing about storage is to get rid of your stuff. Jan had a 15-foot walk-in closet before she met me, and that was one for each season. She's pared down to her closet now is about 3 feet wide.
It seems that the lockers become hers, and the guy's stuff gets stuffed in a drawer somewhere. I mean, I don't. That's just the way it seems to work on every guy's and gal's boat.
Well, the electric pianos and the skis and the ski poles and the boots and the that are just tucked in every crevice and every spot on the boat so that you can't ever get it. You need to go sailing and you want to get your sail bag out of the quarter berth and, well, but wait a minute, I have to first get out the filing cabinet and then I have to get out the skis and then I have to, just to get the sail. It's supposed to be a sailboat, so you should have access to your sails without having to move, 17 pairs of skis and other things that aren't related to the boat at all.
That was a big transition, just what you do with all that stuff that you've accumulated. There's no room in here for a couch. There's no room in here for a big 52-inch television. All that stuff left. My bed.
The size of the bathroom is very important. If you get a small bathroom where you have to sit on the toilet to take a shower and brush your teeth at the same time, that can get a little tiring, and it's more like camping. So you want to get away from that camping element and more into a regular apartment type living.
If you're planning on showering on the boat, you need a boat that has a shower, that has a room for a shower, and has the hot water heater that has the capacity to, and then room for a hot water heater, and room for enough water in your water tank. There's a lot of needs that go with that shower, and you can just, get rid of all of those needs by simply not showering on the boat, or by, showering with a solar shower on deck.
It's a liberating experience, actually, because, you have all this stuff, that you've accumulated. And it's like our whole society seems to tell us our job is to accumulate more stuff, And now I live almost a minimalist existence, I don't worry about, getting a new couch, I got to have the latest design from whoever or whatever.
Obviously, space comes at a premium. You typically pay for it. unless you're willing to sacrifice in quality.
In our case, we decided that we wanted to have a boat that would, number one, be a good sailor, number two, have enough room inside where we wouldn't feel like we were living in a cave, nor do we want to have something where we had to duck our head all the time and feel like we were going to have to crawl around on our hands and knees. I mean, that is no lifestyle for anybody.
Not everybody knows. I think when somebody contacts me and who says he's looking for either one could work, my initial thought is that that person, that I probably will not be helping that person buy a boat.
Sailboats tend to be pointy in the front, so it squishes down quicker, so you lose some space up front. On the other hand, motorboats have bigger engine rooms, so you lose more space down in the basement. And motorboats have bigger butts, so you have more space in the stern. It's really a matter of personal style.
It's a difficult process to make a decision to buy a particular boat, to sign a purchase agreement, tender a deposit, and turn over a check for thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. And if the buyer doesn't have a clue whether power or sail is the answer, he's not very far along in that process.
The sailboat has a little more maintenance because it has its rigging, and in addition to an engine. So you have the engine, which a powerboat has. Maintenance is similar no matter what the size the engine is. But the sailboat also has the rigging and sails to maintain too. But for this, you get more or less silent operation under sails and unlimited range under sails, which you don't have with a motorboat. On the other hand, the motorboat is nice. You push the button, the engine starts, and you go, no matter what the weather is.
Some people will fool you, though. They've had powerboats, they've had sailboats. They honestly could go either way, depending on how their mood suits them, so there are exceptions. But in general, if they haven't identified which they want, then it's a dream. It's a dream that they're living, and they probably won't buy a boat.
Well, I personally would say that you wouldn't want a boat any smaller than 32 feet or so.
I think the most important thing with the liveaboard lifestyle is to have a boat that is relatively small. That's sort of my unique interpretation of the best way to go about doing it.
And this boat, Bandersnatch, is actually too big. I designed it as a crew charter boat, and it would have been an excellent crew charter boat, but it's a retirement boat now, and it's a bit big. It's got an 8-foot draft, which means I go around a lot when I'm doing the Intercoastal Waterway. And it's got a lot of beam, it's got a lot of weight, it gets 1.7 miles per gallon, it's expensive to operate, all because of its size.
I think that a lot of people are going to encourage you that you're going to need a boat that has a lot of space if you want to live aboard. And space transfers into draft and beam. And I'm going to encourage people to go with a smaller boat, less beam, less draft. As a boat, you're going to be able to sail it more easily with a smaller crew, going to more places if the boat is shallower draft, places that you couldn't get to otherwise, less expensively because of the cost of fuel or a new set of sails and the general maintenance. So to me, going small is where it's at. Even though you're thinking about living on board the boat, and then tucking away that money that you're saving, which is substantial, for some sort of landside base of operations.